Jay, it's been a long time. What have you been jamming on?
Surprisingly, not that much, man. Honestly, so playing a lot of college football, 25. Definitely so much of that. I do two modes mainly. First is my dynasty. So I've been in a dynasty with a bunch of guys, and I just finished my first season.
Say with a bunch of guys, so you're multi-dynasty?
What's that?
You say with a bunch of guys, that mean multi-dynasty? Like multiplayer dynasty?
Yeah, multiplayer.
Oh, man, that sounds like... So like turn-based? Like I can't even imagine. Like trying to picture how that works stresses me out.
No, I mean, so like if you think about it, each person, so the rules were that you had to pick a team that was like 3-star or less. I forget, it was like 80, rated 80 or below. And so you're like from the Sun Belt on the MAC. Like I chose woeful Miami of Ohio. I was like, all right, let's go MAC and see what happens. But I actually jumped in on the second season of the Dynasty because they'd started a season before me. And I was like too busy to jump into it. And so like I'm obviously behind the curve a bit, but like essentially everybody is the coach of one school. Like you pick a school and you're the coach of that school. So you have to recruit for that school. You have a certain amount of like recruiting hours each week. There's like 4 weeks of the preseason. And so to be like, hey, you guys have until this time tomorrow to like make it changes, and I'm advancing to the next week of the preseason. So you're just like doing recruiting. You're like checking out your recruiting board, seeing what you need, seeing, where you're spending your points and trying to influence and scout. And so you do that. And once you get to those few weeks of the preseason, then
because you're recruiting from the same pool of recruits, obviously. So what are the metrics of,
oh my gosh, there's
there's
so much to it. So it like, depending on what style of coach you chose and like how much you've played, you can choose to have like more recruiting points. So you have higher influence or more hours, which I didn't even know was possible, but more hours you can put in, which would be great because you can do more and have higher influence. I have, because I'm in Ohio, like my main pipeline is Ohio. So if you're an Ohio player, I have much more influence. If you're like Indiana, I have like level 2 influence. And then like, a state farther, there's like
regional metrics,
influence.
And then just kind of like a player development statistic.
Yep. And once you win, as you win games, like you can add more and choose to get better.
Are you playing the games or is it just coach mode?
No, you're playing the games. So that's the thing too. Like you're managing all your recruits and like whether you're getting offers and scouting them, and then identifying, gem players and diamonds in the rough versus like players who are likely to be bust based on what they're rated. And then you get into the weeks, and then during those weeks, you're just playing games. Like you're playing that team's season. So like I'm Miami of Ohio. I'm playing like Florida first week, and then like another big school, Ohio State the second week kind of thing. But like,
did Ohio State kick the shit out of you?
I mean, I actually didn't play Ohio State, but I can't remember who I played, but everybody kicked the shit out of me. I ended the season with like 3 wins.
There's definitely a couple games. At least that's realistic. That's good.
I threw like 30 interceptions. You can't win that way. You can't. Passing is very hard to do accurately, and I probably played against maybe 4 or 5 users, maybe 4 users of the weeks. So it was good. You just like reach out and schedule through Discord, like, hey, what time are you available to play the game? And you play it. Otherwise, you play your computer opponent and then try to recruit, otherwise during that week. And I unfortunately didn't even make a bowl game. That sucks, but I still decided to move up to the Big Ten.
Do they do the weeks on like an actual calendar week, or do they try to speed it along faster?
I think he started that way, but it definitely sped up after that. Halfway through season is like, all right, is everybody like, he'll check and be like, hey, you guys are the only people that haven't played. Can you play your game? I'll just go ahead and speed it up. So it's pretty fluid.
Yeah, that sounds. I'd probably enjoy that.
Yeah,
that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, it's like you get the whole scope of it. So I'm excited to now that I know more about who to go after. Like, because I ended up so many recruiting battles as the number 2 school. So I was like, damn it. Like I definitely influence, I put some points in coach's influence when I was setting it up, but I know I could like do better next time.
So, and it's a finite, clearly you said hours and stuff. So it's a finite pool. So if you fall short of getting the thing you're after, it's just for naught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them, like you can like, there is a point which you can get those hours back. I think if you put hours in and then they lock you out before you get like top 5 schools, before they choose their top 5 schools or something. There's some kind of measure below that which you'll get those hours back, but afterwards you just don't. Like you did all you could. You ended up number 2 or number 3 on the list. They verbally committed to somebody else. Sorry, let's see who else is out there looking to transfer or declare for the next year,
Rough. Sounds rough.
Yeah.
I was
definitely so salty.
I'm sitting here thinking of it in my mind. I'm equating it to building wonders in multiplayer for Civ. So like, you put all this time and production into a wonder. And then if you fall one turn short of the other person building at the same time, you're just, you can use like half of it to build something else, but you don't give a fuck about that if you were trying to get the pyramids. Yep. That's it. Yeah. It's like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yes. I was salty. So
a lot of emotional weight to that. Those fucking.
Yeah. But also, like I said,
events.
I need to try passing less. Or I need to just get much better at passing because the level of interceptions.
I feel like that was the thing I saw most immediately when it came out was like
so much
passing's a bitch.
So much. It's like if they call the wrong defense, then okay. But if they're keying on you doing the same play, you better find something else. You better get that run game going because it can be rough, man. But it's still a blast to play. Still a blast. Like I also, in addition to the Dynasty, I also started playing Road to the College Football Playoff. And so you just pick any team that you want. And they have tiers, like 5 different tiers based on the team's actual skill. And so it matches you up with players of that same tier and you just play. And I guess like the more you win, like the top couple get into the playoff at the end. And so my first season I did well, but it was like the lowest rating. And so like I lost like 3 games, but like I was too low. You had to only lost like 2 at least to get up in there. But it promoted me to like the next level, like freshman level. And then like it's a much tougher bracket. I'm like 3-3 right now. The last game, Ohio State. I'm Ohio State, of course. I'm playing against Oregon with 0 seconds left on the clock. I scored a touchdown to win the game by 2 points. So that makes me even for the season. I'm definitely not making the college football playoff. But it's fun to just kind of get matched with other players, and kind of just with less restrictions than are available in a dynasty when I'm playing freaking Miami because Ohio State's far better, so I feel much more free. So it's kind of a fun balance to play both modes at the same time, Okay. So been loving playing that game. That's been taking up a lot of time. It's funny. I will be playing some freaking Call of Duty Black Ops since that just came out. I just downloaded that, so that's coming next. I want to check out the new Zombies mode specifically. I heard it's different. But, like, it's crazy. I did turn it on this morning, and the graphics were fucking crazy. Like, I don't know how they just keep getting better. I just, like, all right, I'm excited to actually play that once I get into it. But okay. I did turn on and dust off the VR headset the other day. And Courtney and I were getting ready to play. We ended up walking through the freaking, like, Horizon worlds and doing some random stuff together. But okay. I misunderstood what a little random icon was showing me. There was like a little notification with like a little shape icon, and I just kind of clicked on it like what is this? And it just launched Mother Gunship Forge because I guess there was an update, and it was just telling me that it had been updated. And so I just started playing a couple rounds of that, and I was like, I forgot how dope this game is. Like yes, once you get used to it, like it's just kind of repetitive, but it was really fun jumping in again and like just picking up the weapons and deciding what I was going to do.
Which Horizon world did you go into?
Oh my gosh. We ended up we tried to go into like a comedy show one.
The comedy one.
It was a theater where they were doing the Hot Ones and like Tom Holland was like on Hot Ones. So we were just like kind of hanging out there for a second and then yeah, we were just kind of walking around, just kind of testing out.
It's so weird, dude. It's so weird.
It is so weird.
So weird. Were there kids fucking buzzing around where you were at or no?
Oh, yeah, of course. There definitely were. Outside. Not inside the Hot Ones, but kind of just outside in the lobby. I was just like, I got to just stay with her over here. You guys hang out over there. Have fun. We're going to be the adults over here.
Yeah. That was like I said, that was the interesting thing about being in the puzzle one, because that just must not have attracted a lot of kids, because puzzles are boring. So it was a little less stressful when I was hanging out in that one. But yeah, just even like the lobby thing where you were like, they were showing you shit.
Yeah, we were jumping into a bunch of different spaces just to kind of see how long she could go with like having the headset on. Just because it's been so long. So we'll see. Hoping to get back into a lot more of those games now. Like I have it connected right now, all charged up. I'm like, all right, I need to play a game on this now. Like, what should I do?
Gonna have to get the 3 if you want to play Batman.
Man, I don't want to buy more hardware. Dude, what?
Huge upgrade. They dropped it early. I mean, I think you saw that thing, and I guess I was listening to Let's Talk Oculus podcast. And the guy, they had a guest dude on there, and I guess he's a streamer or fucking YouTuber or something. And they had sent out copies to everyone, you know, the way you would for a game that's dropping. Right. And they gave them an embargo date. So, you know, fucking streamers like plan on that shit. They like schedule their fucking recording and do all their editing and shit with, you know, in conjunction with this. Right, then, so I can drop it for this date. And they fucking just released it unannounced and, like, I guess fucked a million YouTubers with the date. So, I don't know, maybe they'll get flamed for that or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it dropped. And so he had played it a bunch. And I mean, you know, this guy was just like, it's fucking incredible. It's fucking incredible. It's fucking incredible. He's like, even he's saying it's like, you know, it's got some bug stuff, early patch, go through the patch loop to fucking, you know, as any big game like that first coming out is going to. He's like, but it doesn't matter. He's like, it's fucking incredible. It's like the physics of it all. You played those other, like the Arkham City and Arkham whatever. You played some of those, right? So he's like that fighting physics of like, you know, battling a bunch of guys at the same time and like that feeling good the way it does in the flat screen ones. That he's like, they figured that out and it feels like you're, you know, really fucking dealing with all. It's not like, you know, he compared it to Asgard's Wrath 2, which did you would have to battle with, you know, it was good about that too. But that's obviously different than like true hand to hand.
Right.
Combat where you're like the whole thing with Batman is you're always getting mobbed like physically on top of you.
It's like that Assassin's Creed style. You're just like battling and doing stuff.
And Asgard's Wrath, you know, you're getting mobbed too. But again, some things are fighting with projectiles more, and like I guess Batman is just more hand to hand in my mind. So the idea of that is maybe a little bit more impressive. But yeah, he had nothing but glowing shit to say about it, and I'll probably wait. I got this thing going in Austin. I'll probably wait till around Thanksgiving, and that'll be like a month of like the feedback and patch loop will have played out. So a lot of the dumb shit will be sorted with it, and then I should have a shit ton of time in December to just play the fuck out of it.
Is that going to be a $60 game? What are we
talking I'm sure it is. Yeah, it's 50 or 60, I think.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean it's fucking Batman, so.
I mean, I can only imagine, like even as old as it has been now, like playing that Iron Man game in VR was freaking awesome.
Well, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same company.
Like,
right?
So awesome. So like, I can only imagine. Yeah, better, more time spent, later engine, better graphics.
A whole nother fucking generation of hardware too. So yeah, he had nothing bad to say about it. Which again, that's in the midst of talking about problems with it. He still had nothing bad to say, which is sounds pretty good. So
nice.
Yeah, that's cool to look forward to. Well, that's good. I'm trying to think if there's anything. So yeah, I got back and I sit down and fucking what are the things I got to do, and I bought some shit that I went in and got some wish list stuff that was on sale. The new fucking Fisherman's Tale, that one that was, I think I told you about. Well, I definitely talked about the first one, where it was like, where you're like, you know, you're like the model inside like the Russian doll type puzzle format, you know. So they had a new one of those, and I got this game Townsfolk VR I'll talk about. That's kind of like this, like it's like real time. It's Age of Empires is what it is. It's just 3D and fucking VR, you know.
Really?
Yeah, so I've been playing the shit out of that too. So I'll get into those, but I'm trying to think if there's anything multiplayer. that I got. No, I did see Dungeons of Eternity got a fucking Halloween update that everyone's saying is pretty cool. So we could do that if you wanted to do some dungeon runs.
Okay.
So that's still going on. And I haven't had the Walkabout, dude. The last Walkabout I got was, I think, that Venice one, and I think they've dropped like 2 or 3 since then.
You
I know
just lost the love for
well, it's just, I just no time. It's no time. They dropped, there's a space one that I talked about getting, and it just never happened. So there's a few courses of that I could fucking jump in and do a ball hunt with, too. Anyhow, anything else?
No, that's pretty much it, man. Like, I've been, jumping in and playing some Vampire Survivors with the kids.
There was I saw they were talking about on the CADcast. They were talking about they did a Castlevania, or they are doing a Castlevania IP drop. They did a partnership with Konami.
I don't know. I know there's a bunch of new stuff. Like, there's even like a new mode.
Yeah, there's
got into it with
all the Castlevania Belmonts and shit. I get. They were saying it's the first time you've ever been able to play as all the Belmonts in one game. Like, they've always been partitioned.
Yeah, I know there's so many new characters that I can unlock now. It's like it's slow unlocking, but we'll get there. But that's been fun, just kind of playing because it's so easy to play. Like, both of the youngest two can play. So I've been playing a little bit of that, and then really just like some Raiden 4 again, just multiplayer shooter, flying shmup, aka vertical flying shooter. Yeah, just when I play with the boys. But that's pretty much it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's been a while, so I have my little list too. As with any time I'm doing a flick, once I get ahead of the fucking curve on the workload, I start playing Civ. So I got a nice campaign of that while I was in Jersey. The random leader selection function gave me John Curtin of Australia this time, which I'd never played as Australia before. And they have both their like civilization unique fucking things are pretty cool. They have their improvement thing is a souped up farm tile. So it's a farm, but it's like I don't know, like the actual tile looks like some kind of enclosure, like a little fucking, I don't know, like there'd be a bunch of dingoes in there or something, or kangaroos or something. But it also awards you some production. So being able to farm or do farmland and have it add to your production is a huge, I don't know, it's almost feels like game breaking. Because like that's kind of a big part of your trade-off, I think, when you're doing city development is, am I skewing this towards being able to grow it very large, or am I focusing on production with it? You know what I mean? And being able to do both seems kind of like a fucking cheat code. So that's cool. And then their unique unit is it's called what the fuck is it called? Some sort of Australian ass name, but it's basically an infantry unit it's like a little dude that wears a cowboy hat. So I'm always a fan when the unique units are modern because you get more use out of them. You know what I mean? As opposed to the earlier ones, you're progressing through those early fucking ages so fast that you don't get as much run out of them. So sounds cool, pretty cool. And yeah, man, the new one drops on February 11th. Holy fuck! Get the fuck off the tracks. Am I going to be all over that? I watched they released I think I sent it to you guys, like a 20-some minute video of, it was a little masturbatory. Them kind of just, it's like fucking Sid Meier's in it, and it's like they have all the fucking like big wigs just talking about, the franchise, the history of it, and how this one is intended to like really embrace and cater to that and expand on, however 20 plus years or whatever it's been of fucking civilization. That's so crazy. It's a little masturbatory, but it was still a cool watch because there's obviously a ton of game footage and stuff. Right. And I also watched. There's of course analysis videos of it too, so I watched a few of those too to like talk about a better interpretation of what the differences will be in some of the game functionalities. So there's definitely some changing shit to it that sounds pretty interesting. I can't remember enough of it to talk about it fucking explicitly now that I think about it, or now that I'm this far removed from it. But definitely some changes that, it's like fucking Jab's cunny ass always talking about is playing 4 all the time. Like, it's like this game is like a huge part of people's lives, and like to go in and just fucking wreck the way it works and like do some drastically different thing is like a jarring fucking creative choice. So it'll be interesting to see whether it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Dude, that sounds awesome. I remember always thinking like how different that is. Like either you were a Civ person or you were an Age person, and like it's so funny. You started talking about that and immediately made me think. I forgot I've been playing Age of Mythology as well. Like I don't know, Age of Mythology Retold is out. Like that game, it's like Age of Empires with god powers and like all types of extra cool shit, and it plays so smoothly on the controller. Like it's a fantastic game. Like definitely check it out. Like in that vein of like they updated it, they kept all the great stuff like that you wanted to be, that you expected to be, with a bunch of great extra god powers involved, walking around Titan smashing shit. Like yes, like give me more of that.
One more turn, man. One more turn. It's the most definitely the most addictive game format there is. So
yeah, so good, so good.
Yeah, fucking Civ is unbelievable. It's hilarious to me how much time. It's just hilarious to think about how much time, just with 6, but also in my life period with all of them. Like it's just I could literally have an entire career track accomplished in my life of something else. That, you know what I mean? Like I could, like my half-ass. You know, I always talk about like if schooling and not, you know, just there weren't. What's it called? Where you have to choose between two things.
Competing priorities.
Cost. Well, yeah, but it's something cost. I can't think of the fucking
cost
term. Whatever.
Benefit analysis.
Cost benefit analysis. Yes, that's the analysis of it. But there's like opportunity cost. That's what I'm looking for. All opportunity costs aside, I always talk about marine biology is something I would love to have gotten into and done with my life. You know, like the ocean fascinates me. The idea of being able to work in it and with it as my everyday thing, at least abstractly, is very appealing. I'm terrified of the ocean too. It's a little bit of a contradiction probably. I don't know. But, you know, that's part of the fascination, I'm sure. The fact that I'm terrified of it. Anyways, going to school and getting a doctorate, not happening. I hate school. It's not that interesting to me. I don't want to spend that time. But if I had spent that time that I spent playing Civ on that, I'd have that done in my life for fucking sure. So I could moonlight as a fucking marine biologist in between movies if I wanted to, if I had not played Civ all my life as much as I had. So that's always funny to me to think. And I don't think that's hyperbolic. I think that is a 100% true thing.
Was it worth it? Was it worth it though to play the Civ?
I don't know. That's a tough thing about opportunity cost, bro. You don't know what you lost, you know. Anyhow, that's the Civ situation. That game I backed on Kickstarter, Beyond Shadowgate, dropped on September 19th. So I have it now. I talked to Amy and we decided we were going to play it together. We'll do that with point and clicks a lot. So I didn't play it right away. And then once I got back here, I realized like I expected them to be here waiting for me. You know, I backed at the top level. So I got I have a sick ass treasure chest of feelies and shit that are I'm going to get to play the game with, which would be awesome.
Power babies. Yes.
Right, exactly. Like physical power, tangible power babies, man. And you know, I don't want to play the game without those because one, that's when you're going to enjoy them the most, and that's when they'll be the most helpful and, you know, interesting. So but they had like a problem with their printer or something, so they're waiting on a couple books to be. It's not here yet, basically. So I'm waiting for that shit to get delivered before I start playing that. But just firing it up and looking at it, and again, listen to some of the fucking early reviews and shit. Like it's off the fucking wall. If you like the first one, for sure, it seems like a no-brainer, and it's obviously just immensely built out and more involved, but exact same feel. Like it's a little more modernized and a little more visually pleasing probably, but the general, feel of it is exactly the same as the OG NES one. So it sounds like they fucking nailed it. So I'm looking forward to that. Puzzling Places, that 3D puzzle game, dropped a walkabout mini golf model of cherry blossoms. So it's like the full map, corner to corner, of the Walkabout mini golf course, and it was so cool, dude. I can't believe they're not doing. I'm sure they will do more of it now that it's been fucking. They've broken the fucking membrane on that. So, fucking, it's huge, first of all, and it's hard as fuck. Like all the little tree, I did. Every one of them I do 400 pieces, which is like the maximum difficulty or number of times whatever the model can be broken up, and so hard, dude. So many, you've played that. It's all trees. There's all these little tiny fucking trees that like, it required me to come up with systems for like organizing the pieces.
Here's the dark green. Here's the
right. Yeah. You could not just have the multiple pages of fucking pieces and just randomly grab shit and try. It did not work. So I had to like enter a whole new tier of puzzle assembly, 3D puzzle assembly system devising to get through it. But I got I did 399 pieces, dude. And I can't, the trees, the reason they're hard on top of they all look the same and there's a million of them is you don't even know where they go, man. You can't even see the fucking little nub, maybe, that, like, if you remember that course, actually, there's like a bamboo area where it's like a hill that you go through all these bamboo stalks, and there were individual bamboo stalks that you're like, I'm like, got the fucking thing zoomed all the way in, and I'm like trying to see one little bamboo stalk sticking up that doesn't have the rest of it up, there. So like, I spent so much fucking time in the evenings, fucking after I would get off work in Jersey, fucking sitting there. I mean, I probably dumped, dude, 8 hours into fucking making that fucking puzzle. So anyways, my whole point is there's one tree I can't figure out where it goes. I made a video of it and sent it to those motherfuckers, puzzling places and Walkabout mini golf. And I was like, I am calling the cops if you motherfuckers don't tell me where this last piece goes in the 400 fucking piece puzzle of this thing, because it is killing my soul, that I can't figure out where the last fucking piece goes. So anyways, very fucking cool. And they need to do more of those. That was an awesome puzzle. And it was free too, actually. You got to buy the game, but they have like puzzle packs that you buy. That was they just dropped that and gave that to owners of the game for free. So they'll probably be, it's probably a test run. I'm sure they'll sell an entire pack of them next, and they'll have me for sure on that. So good on them. Good marketing. And probably the biggest thing for me, which is what's behind me right now. So I found that. I sent you guys the video. I got again, that was Let's Talk Oculus guys talking about it. The Subside VR, which is an aquatic diving simulator. It's PC VR, so obviously you got to have the fucking Steam set up to play it in the Quest 3. Oh my god. Oh my god, and like I have a shitty, like, my laptop is a good laptop, but it's not great for PC VR. It's not, it runs, it's plenty fucking, it's not like inoperable or like clunky, but it's not perfect. And like, I've seen the videos of people playing this on top flight PC VR systems, and it's fucking unreal looking, like unfucking believable. And I mean, just live action photo, like 100%. No ability to differentiate it from reality at all. This, like, because it's just like when I turn my head quickly, it'll like sometimes struggle to keep up with that. So there's like slight immersion breaking things that in my setup, like I'm going to spend whatever I have to spend to fix it. Basically, well, I'm going to get a new laptop. I'm going to get a new router. I'm going to get whatever the cable is. I'm going to get all the shit. I'm going to get the little fucking, whatever that little fucking thing, little box I had to buy. I'm going to buy all of the most expensive shit for that, because this.
Give me all the things.
Yes, it is so incredibly good and real. And, the premise of like it's meant to be a simulator. It's not a game, really. It gamifies your experience to some degree, so you have objectives of some kind. But it's you start the thing and you are in this kind of just white space room that is like it says you are in an aquatic simulator. It like, you're actually in a space that is going to simulate different environments, different aquatic environments. So there's like that premise. It's not just like, you're supposedly whatever. There's no game. It's like you were literally in a simulator.
Okay.
And so you walk onto the space, and you know, in the beginning, there's a training area, and you like walk on the thing, you select that, you go into it, and it just drops you into this water space, dude. And it's like, you know, you got your hands, and you swim. You have your hands. Yeah, and it's, dude. And like in the beginning, you don't have you like you can get items and stuff that like improve your quality of life. You get like a diving belt that allows you to basically move on the y-axis with the control stick to make life easier. There's, you know, fins you can get that make the swimming a little easier. But when you first start in this training area in particular, it's just you manually doing everything. So which is great game design, because it forces you to experience that and feel. You feel like you are fucking diving, dude. It forces you to do the activities, like the physical exertion. Like
that sounds like it might freak me out, man. I don't know.
Oh, dude. The last level is this fucking cave diving thing. I almost hyperventilated the other day.
What?
Yeah, but like I got into, it's like going into this fucking tight space, you know, and you literally got it, because you can like grab on, like it's awesome, because you're not just like this disembodied fucking object bouncing around in a water space. You can use your hands and grip things, and like when you like want to go around something, you can, or in this like go in under a fucking thing, you can like grip things and move physically. You know, it's not interacting with the environment. You're not moving the things, although you can pick things up and move it too. But it changes the feel of it so much to have that functionality, and they nailed the feel of that. And you know, it's water, so you have like there's especially like that cave one, like I'm talking about. It's obviously a river going through these caves theoretically, so it's like you fucking, you know, you feel the current, and like that changes your interaction with the space and how you navigate it and move through it. Oh, dude, they just crushed it. I can't believe how fucking good and real it feels. And crazy. Oh, dude. And so, like I said, there, you know, just the actual physics of it are insane, and it looks so good. It looks so fucking good. So that's all great, the simulation aspect. But to gamify it, they have, the core thing is finding these coins, and they're literally just, they look like a fucking Chuck E. Cheese token or something, you know, like a gold coin, and they're just laying in these, again, photorealistic underwater environments. So there is no hand-holding. It's, you have to find these fucking things, coins, in like huge spaces of and it's unbelievable how satisfying. You know, it's walkabout mini golf ball hunting on steroids. You know, it's just like.
But like, are you just running into sharks and stuff? Like looking at like the.
Well, yes. The short answer. The short answer is yes, Jay, and yes, it is terrifying.
I don't know that I want to be in that.
You can't. It's not, at least in this one, in this iteration of it. They are not aggressive. You're not. It's still terrifying. The first time you see a shark is terrifying. Yeah. And they're not even, you know, it's not like you're like swimming with great whites. There is, like you see the picture behind me, there's like, you find, there's little plastic squeaky fish that you can find of different kinds. There's a koi, there's a shark, there's a dolphin, I think, or a whale. A whale, because it's a whale thing. And those open up these special stages. I actually just got the koi pond the other day, and it's just a cool ass fucking space full of these koi fish, you know, and it's just like a kind of like again a bonus stage thing. And I guess I don't have it yet, but yeah, there's a shark cage experience that you can get once you find the 4 sharks, and that is a great white, and you're in the cage, so you still can't be hurt, but I'm probably sure it's terrifying, especially again if your hardware's lit. It's got to be just absolutely fucking unbelievably impressive. But you know, out in you are swimming. And, well, you know, one of them's a freshwater thing, actually. There's like this gorge that you go through. And in that, there's this huge sturgeon fish that is still huge and fucking, even though it's freshwater and sturgeons are not aggressive, it's still, it's like in this murky ass part of the thing. And when it first comes out of the murk, it's like, oh my fucking God. You know, so, oh yeah, dude, so good. But yeah, and you know, there's like an open water, like a cove. The second level is this Ocean Cove, and yeah, you know, there's sharks that are like some of them actually have like the little feeder things on them, you know, that fucking clean the sharks.
Oh,
like, yeah, so,
yeah.
but they're real sharks, you know, and fucking, again, the first time you see one, it's like out by this sunk fucking sailboat is like, oh my God. You know,
like, run the other direction.
Dude, and yeah, that's the thing again, because you know, you do have to breathe. You're free diving. It's not scuba diving, you're free diving. So you do have to surface, and you can get improvements that give you more. You can have longer air, and then you can get a snorkel, so when you're swimming along the surface, you can breathe and still look down and stuff. So there's like things to improve the interaction. You can get this watch that gives you a timer on how much air you have left, which you don't have in the beginning. In the beginning, you just like you feel yourself. Yeah, you feel yourself getting like it starts breathing heaven. You get a little notification that you got like 10 seconds or whatever, and then when you start to like run out of air, you feel your heart beating. It's got like haptic feedback, and you hear your heartbeat, dude. And dude, again, like I said, that was the thing. I was doing that cave diving shit, and like, you know, you're like, because you're looking for, that's like what they gamified it perfectly, because you're looking for those coins, or you're trying to. There's also these boxes. There's these keys you find, and they unlock these boxes, and inside the boxes is where you get the things for the store that you have to spend the gold on. So there's like this 2-step process to getting the things that improve your fucking experience. Man. But there's also, you can eventually get this like a torch, and then there's the boxes that you had to leave behind when you first found them because you didn't even know how to interact with them. But you go down and you burn the locks off them with the torch, and there's 2 locks per box. So like that takes time, and you're like weighing the thing, like I gotta get to the surface, but I don't want to stop this fucking thing I'm doing. You know, like, so yeah, you could really push yourself, and you're doing that in a cave. You're not just, you can't just go straight to the surface because you're in a cave. So you gotta had to like weasel your way down into this cave area. And like, I found there's one part of the cave where like, there's a sign that says like, if you don't have the proper equipment, don't go in here. You know, cause like, it's like for like seasoned divers, you know, and I was like, I got a couple of fucking breath upgrades, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna fucking do this. And I go in there, and like, you're going through this thing, and you're like, oh my God, like you're running out of air, and you're like, where the fuck is the area, the part where I can breathe? Where's the thing? And like, it doesn't come, and then you just die. And it's like, yeah, like
not seasoned enough. Apparently.
Yeah, not seasoned enough, but like the experience of, I mean, clearly you're in a simulator, but it is so convincing that I felt the terror of I need to breathe and I can't breathe. You know what I mean? And
that sounds terrifying. I don't want that feeling though. Like, I don't know about that. Underwater?
It's so good. What? It's so good, dude. It's what I wanted when I bought the 2 to play Subnautica, you know, and Subnautica it's not built for it. So that experience hasn't come to fruition as well as I had liked perhaps. But yeah, it's so good. And I mean, it was some hilarious amount of money, like $20 or something. There's only the 4 main levels and then the 3 bonus ones. So, I mean, here's my credit card, whatever you want. Give me the new levels. Give me the new whatever. Now. Build them. Give them to me. I'll give you however much money you need. All of it if you need it. Whatever. Just fucking, yeah. So oh my God, such a fucking good experience. And yeah, I mean, dude, I'm breaking shit again in my fucking living room because I don't have, you're like swimming and like, it's so immersive that I got my Guardian up.
Devs, make more. This is a glowing.
Yeah. Unfucking believable, dude. Unbelievable, man. Unfucking believable. Just so good. Oh. Such a good job. Oh, fucking VR is incredible. So playing the shit out of that, and like, you know, it's such a thing that you can't play it for, you know, you play it for like fucking 45 minutes. You're like, fuck, I need to, and like, yeah. I don't know how. You're just doing the movements. It's weird. It's amazing how tired it is. Yeah, it's wild, dude. It's such a cool experience. I definitely, and you know, I've always wanted to. Like I told you, like scuba diving and shit, I would love to do that, but it terrifies me. Like I like the cave thing. Like I'll never in a million years go in a cave underwater.
No.
So the fact that they were able to give that to me so convincingly without the risk is the actual risk is just I'm just so thankful, and so it's, you know, it's just so cool. It's so fucking cool. So yeah, so that's great. Get Subside VR for fuck's sake. And the other one, Townsman is actually it's called, not Townsfolk, sorry, VR, and that's it's a real time medieval fantasy builder deal. There's some like at least so far as I've gotten, it's got a story mode, of course, and there's some like light battle mechanics, but it's not. It's definitely more about there's like a really built out and balanced. You got to get this building to build this and get these resources to do that, and like the combination of those things to do that, and it's like it's much more focused on working your way through that and balancing that all and like helping your little workers get that shit done. You have like the kind of, it's VR, so it allows you to kind of have the God capability of like pick, you can either let the little fucker walk over there and get that thing, or you can grab it for them and put it on the place they're going to take it and save them that time if you can spend that attention doing it. You know what I mean? So that's a cool trade-off opportunity too. Like, do I want to spend my own time as the God helping the individual task, or because you build the building and it just like creates the framework, and then people walk over and start doing it from one of their tasks. But each building has, they have to have like a worker to do the thing the building does. So you're also always weighing the economy of labor. It has like literally a labor quotient that you need to have available. So you're like often have to choose between, okay, I gotta have a hunter getting fucking meat, I gotta have the dude at the cook at the fucking inn cooking the meat to make it available for food, and also someone working the well to get water over to the inn so people don't have to go over and do their own cranking of the well and slow them down. So like all those things have to be in place for the food thing to be happening, but I need wood to get this next step done, so I need some extra fucking wood choppers. It's making you weigh the whole fucking labor pool at all times, and it does a really addicting and good job of, making you real time figure that all out and fucking keep it running semi-smoothly, And then also, when they introduce the war thing, then you're like dealing with outside influences that you can't even project or coming, you know what I mean? So it just complicates the math problem, which to me is crack, of course. So yeah, that is really good. I got it on sale for like $12, but I think it's only $20 normal, so it's a really good deal.
Nice.
We talked about Batman, and the last thing I have, my Uncanny X-Men quest is up to issue 53, I think.
Okay.
And it actually
you're getting up there.
It finally got a wee bit interesting in the mid 40s. It's still not good. It's still terrible. But in the mid 40s, Professor X dies. Spoiler alert. Sorry if you haven't read comics from fucking 50 years ago or whatever. But that happened, and it still hasn't. He's not back. So I was kind of surprised. Like, I kind of thought it'd be like a soap opera death, like he'd be right back, and he hasn't been. And they like, I don't know if you recall it, but they like, when he dies, they kind of just like, they're like, okay, fuck this X-Men shit, and they like, each one of them goes their own separate ways and like starts a startup business or something. They're getting out of the superhero game, and they're all fucking doing some dumb. Yeah, like Jean Grey is the fucking model. She starts modeling, and like, I don't know, fucking each one of them does like a dumbass job of some kind.
What?
And that only lasted a couple issues, and they're like back together now doing shit. But yeah, it was really it really took me by some. It definitely was a fucking curveball for where I thought the story was going. I did not see it coming at all, that they would just like disperse and fucking start doing other shit. So that was kind of interesting. Again, still not good. They're getting back together now, and Magneto's trying to take advantage of the fucking fact Professor X is gone, and
they've been killing him off since the beginning.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where that's at.
That is great. They're trying anything at that point. Like, all right, let's see what we can do.
Yeah, and that's again, knowing that they are that changeover is happening. And again, I don't know the exact issue, but I know now. I've gathered now that it's like it's under 100, and I'm like, like where. I don't know that I'm very curious to see how the transition to that is going to happen in the actual.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
The main comic, like it's the fact that it jumps to that giant uncanny or the giant X-Men to make the change. Like, again, like I said, when I errantly read that, it was so clearly just like starting from anew. There was no seemingly no connective tissue to what might have been happening at that time in.
But I think there is, though. I think there is.
Oh, I'm sure there is. All I'm simply saying is there was no indication of what it was at the beginning of Giant X-Men. So how? I guess the simple answer is potentially that those are obviously independent storylines. Each one of those characters, and that's what it was. It was like I said, it was like Nightcrawler and Colossus. It was their origin stories or where they were at. So there clearly could be having something concurrently with those 5 main X-Men and Professor X if he's back, assuming he's back. So I guess that's probably the answer. But how that might tie together is certainly something I'm eager to get to and learn. So. Maybe by the next, I cruise through them. They don't fucking take long, so it's possible that by the next episode I could potentially have that unearthed. We shall see. Well, let's talk about GamePro 20.